Welcome everybody to episode 3 of the Asia Cricket Podcast. I'm Darren Bruff, and with me again is Rushikesh Ambulgeka, and we've
Yeah,
just
good.
done episode 2 of reviewing the insane underdog win in Australia for India. And in this episode, we're just going to preview England's tour to India. And yeah, there's a few changes to the squad. India certainly is going to be much stronger than they were at the test at the Gabba. There's a few players coming back. Uh, Players like Jadu still injured, along with Mohammad Shami, but there's some new faces and some really awesome choices in terms of Ranji players. So, Rushi, I'm going to go to you first. What's your thoughts on the squad that has been selected, and are you happy with it?
Yeah, I'm very much happy with the squad, but I'm disappointed with the injuries, and especially for Shami and Umesh. Both were unfortunate because I had never seen Umesh Yadav getting injured for a long time. Two things about the Umesh Yadav I have been, I have been seeing or focusing. So one thing is that he never balls a no ball. I think don't know when did last time Umesh Yadav balled no balls, and we have some spinners who balls no balls, but being a fast bowler, I haven't seen Umesh Yadav bowling a no ball. And the second thing, he never gets injured.
He's very
I
fit.
haven't seen him get, yeah, he's very fit. He's an athlete actually. He's a
Oh, he's
police
a great
person, and
athlete. Yeah.
yeah, he's a police person from Nagpur, and he still has a job as a police inspector, something like that in Maharashtra police. And he's a complete athlete. He's very good in field, and he takes a very good catches. He's very good in outfielding as well. So disappointed to see the Umesh Yadav getting injured, and he is very lethal in India. He averages 22. So there is another, conflict here that people call Nathan Lyon is a goat as he performs in very much in Australia, but nobody cares about Umesh Yadav. Every struggled in India. Even the great, I haven't seen except Stain. No one has performed in India well. And here is the Umesh Yadav guy who has average of 22 in Test cricket with the strike rate of 50. This is incredible. I mean, this is
That's
I,
like Wazim Akram, Wakar Yunus.
yeah.
Well, even
So
the
that
series when Australia toured in 2017, Umesh was easily the best fast bowler in that series. He was
So
excellent.
if Bumrah is playing and Ishant is playing, so I would have easily picked Shami and Bumrah. And if Bumrah is not played, I would have picked Shami and Umesh. Because Ishant is a great bowler, but Ishant needs some assistance from pitch at least. Because if we are getting a flat pitch, if we are getting almost we will be getting a flat pitch against England as we did in last time. So it's I would have put my money on the Umesh and Shami, and they would have been they would have been disastrous for England because just strong bowling lineup. I wouldn't miss much Jadeja because we have Akshar Patel and Washington Sundar look good in Gabba. So I would have played Sundar or Akshar in place of Jadeja. And my second spinner will be the Kuldeep with Ashwin. Kuldeep is a genius. A guy who go for Australia and pick fifer in his first innings, and when the pitch is very flat, so he's a special. For his batting, he didn't get lots of chances. It's unfortunate for him, but still
He's handy.
he's handy and he's very good bowler, and he can bat. He can at least block, like he's like a bhuvi. He can at least block the ball, and in India on the flat pitches he might score a 50 as well. Who knows, it might
I
happen.
feel Kuldeep
Yeah,
has been uh, because he's been hammered in ODIs and T20s. That's
yeah.
why they reluctant to pick
But
him. But
this
in
is,
long
yeah, but it
term,
is,
he's wonderful
yeah,
because he bowls really
yeah,
slow.
yeah,
He gets
yeah,
turn on any pitch, and he has a
yeah.
good wrong. And I would have
And
selected him at the Gabba.
and uh, and whatever his performance, I say here, whatever his performance, if he doesn't take a single wicket in the first match, he should play at least 3 matches consecutively in India. I would back him.
Yeah, I think as well with India playing 5 bowlers, you can afford to have a risky like at the Gabba with Saini getting injured, because
Yeah,
India had Washi playing, it didn't
yeah,
matter in the end. I think playing five
yes,
bowlers, you can afford to
yeah,
have someone who is a little bit erratic, who even if they get hammered, even if he goes 0 for 80 in 20 overs, it doesn't
yeah,
matter
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
you have Ash, Jadu, Akshar, whoever can cover the overs. I think
yeah,
that was the genius in Australia, was having that fifth bowler.
yeah,
So like my thoughts on the squad, I feel so sad for Ravindra Jadeja.
yeah,
Um, he
yes.
he was starting to show that he is probably the world's
How
best,
good he is, how good he is. Yes, yeah, yeah,
especially with the bat, because overseas, like, it's such a shame because everyone's always like, oh, Ben Stokes, or Shakib, but Ravindra Jadeja, he averages 36 or 37 with the bat, and with the ball, he's averaging mid to low 20s. Like he's as good, if not statistically better than them. And I think he started to show that he can bat really well overseas. He like that 57 in Adelaide. That was the partnership, the Rahane punt and then Rahane Jadeja. That was the period of play where
yeah.
they took the game away. I feel so bad that he isn't able to come play and just take his form and keep dominating.
I mean, it's rather than the team's loss, it's the most his personal loss. He would have easily took 20 wickets. I mean, at least 50 to 20 wickets, and would have scored 300 to 400 runs in this series easily. Because in India, he is a dangerous batsman. If he gets going now, so he can strike you at 100 or 120 strike rate. He is that dangerous, and he can take the. I mean, I still know the partnership between Ashwin and Jadeja. So we were chasing 80 runs. We will trial by 80 runs in Mohali. So England scored 283, and we were like 200 and something for a 5 or 6. So almost Jadeja and Ashwin had a partnership of 150, and that was the turning part of the match, and we won that match easily. And Jadeja scored 90. I mean, Jadeja would have had easily 2 or 300, but he just throws his wickets when he comes to 80s or 90s.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
even there
yeah,
was
yes,
the game where Kohli scored 250 against South Africa. One of those games, he let Jadu try and go for 100,
yeah,
but so
yeah,
many times he just throws his wicket because he has
yeah.
taken India to a position
Yeah,
of
yeah,
strength. The SCG two
yeah.
years ago, him and like
Yes,
Pujara
Pant.
took the game, gave it to India, and then Pant and Jadu just, it was unbelievable. Jadu is world class, and he's technically
Yeah,
very strong. But the good thing about this Kohli Shastri regime is we lose Jadeja, but Washington Sundar has played IPL, one day internationals, T20s, and now a test. And Akshar Patel has basically, he's in his best form of his career. I know he played 5 or 6 years ago, but he's
mm,
bashing down the door in Ranji, and his IPL form. He is a match winner. He's like, I'm a
yeah.
Delhi Capital supporter, and he was.
To be honest, this will be a big comment from me. But if Akshar Patel can improve his batting and a little bit bowling as well, he can be a next Jadeja of ours. I mean, he has the same skill. I wouldn't be
He's not
surprised
a
if
good
he
fielder.
can. Yeah, not good as a fielder as Jadeja. Jadeja is world class. I mean, he is as a fielder.
He's a
He is
wonder.
as good as anybody, if not the best. But
Yeah,
yeah, certainly that Akshar is not good in fielding as compared to Jadeja, but
he's
can
too slow.
become a next Jadeja in batting and bowling,
Yeah.
especially in Asia, especially in Asia.
Well, one
Yeah,
one thing with Akshar is, because he debuted around the same time as Ambati Rayudu against Sri
mm,
Lanka, and I think he played a couple of games here when he's only 26. I thought Akshar by
yeah,
now was 28, 29. He's only 26. He's got another
yeah,
5 or 6 years of, easily his peak. And his bowling, I think he's a bit trickier than Jadeja. He's probably not as accurate. He has more tricks.
mhm.
But his batting, I think, is is very good. I'm excited to see him, but it's funny because if I was selecting, I would pick Akshar Patel to bat at number 7 with Ashwin at 8. But I've how can you drop Washington Sundar? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
but
issue.
Sundar has
But
just come from the
to be
club.
honest, Washington Sundar is not as good bowler as Akshar, because
Oh,
we need a bowler
one
for
hundred
flat
percent.
pitches.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But his batting, like it's just funny. Like I would pick Akshar Patel personally,
yeah.
uh, but then I would be like I would feel bad for Washi. I
Mhm. There's
but
so much competition here in India. I mean, there are lots of good players. Yeah, what
yeah,
can we do?
and I also wonder. They wouldn't select Akshar Patel unless they were going to play him. You know what I mean? They wouldn't just put
Mhm.
Akshar Patel in the squad, in the general squad, if they didn't think they were going to play him, because
Mhm.
I mean he could have been playing SMAT or something. I just think they really are going to pick him and invest in him.
And another thing is, Darren, we have a 4 test match, and out of 4, we will be playing 3 spinners in only 3 matches, because the day night test match, on that in day night test match we will be playing 3 seamers, including Siraj, Ishant, Bumrah, and Siraj.
Well,
So there
I
is,
think in my opinion, I would have picked Ishant over Umesh. Like I do like what Umesh does in India, but I just think Ishant is in a class of his own at the moment when he is bowling well, and especially if I think they would want to get him his workload going before that day night test, because in that day night test, Ishant is going to be unbelievable if and I think he would have been the first seamer picked. He's such a workhorse. I think this series is going to be tough. I don't believe England can take 20 wickets, but they can score a lot of runs.
yeah, exactly. And I don't think that BCCI should provide pitches like Chennai. I mean, Chennai was flat as deck. I mean, it was a road. I mean, uh, at least there should be some tricky wickets.
Yeah,
So
and that's one
because
thing I'm so glad about, because I remember in commentary Harsha Bogle was saying if Australia had have beaten India, they would have made 4 ranked turners for the England series. But I'm hoping now, because India only have to win 2 games and they're in the World Test Championship final. I hope they give some sporting wickets. That is why India is so good now. Like that
yeah,
Pune Test you went to against South Africa, where there was plenty in it for Rabada and Nortje.
yeah,
I know they got hammered, but there was plenty in it for the Pacers. It was bouncy.
yeah,
The ball was seaming.
yeah.
That's what you want. You don't want to see India winning in 3 days on a ranked turner, and then everyone goes, "Oh, India only they doctor pitches. They doctor
To be
pitches."
honest, Darren, to be honest, since that Kohli took over captaincy from Dhoni, and it was his first series in India versus South Africa. So we had 2 ranked turners. First was in Mohali, first test match, and third was second was in second no, third was in Delhi. So that was
Oh,
another ranked
this is
turner.
not the last
Yeah,
series, the one before. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, see,
yeah.
that wasn't good
So
to
we
watch.
had a two sporty wicket. Last was a Delhi where Rahane scored 200 back to back,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we won that match. And another was a Bangalore, but it was washed out, and it was also good wicket. Since that two ranked turner, and another one was Pune. Pune was a complete ranked
yeah.
turner.
And I
Yeah,
think that was
and
the big change in Indian cricket, where Australia came. It wasn't a good pitch,
yeah.
and it was a ranked turner, and India got fucking hammered. And ever since
Yeah,
then, India hasn't made another ranked turner. They don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
to. They don't have
if
to.
you exclude those 3 pitches, we have been providing very much sporty wickets. People cry about Ashwin taking 7 wickets in fourth innings. Of course it will turn na. When we won the toss, when we will bat first, and we will bat first, we score 500 on
Yeah,
600 easily. Even no one performs, we put 500 and 600, and opposition gets bowled out. And when they come to bat in fourth innings, even chasing 400, 500, Ashwin take 5, 6 easily. So on fourth day and fifth day, pitch will of course turn. So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
cannot call it as a rank turner. I mean, our dear friends Pap scenario, because in England I was very angry at BCCI. We could have won that series 5-0, but all the pitches were flat as a hell. All the pitches. Just provide me one name that was pitch was a sporty. All pitches were flat. I mean, Mumbai was a bit okay because Mumbai started turning on day 3 or day 4, but all the pitches were very much batting friendly. That's why England scored 400 and 500 in first innings. I mean that bowling attack
yeah, yeah.
against India.
And they had like I think it'll be similar in this series in that I think England will bat and score big. I don't think they will. I don't think they can win. I just can't see 20 wickets. I don't mind if the spinners are taking 10, 12, 13, 14 wickets of the 20. Uh, as long as it's a bit sporting, and India has done that. That's why they're so good overseas now, like
Yeah.
compared to when we were growing up. Uh, I really believe that I can't see this England spinning duo, Jack Leach and Don Bess. I can't see them like taking 20 wickets.
To be honest, Darren, to be honest, basically forgot about the Jack Leach. If Anderson doesn't get wicket on new ball, he is not taking any more wickets.
yeah. I think in England just they've picked Archer. I think Archer will be good, but he has
Yeah,
they
Archer and Stokes as well. Stokes as well. He
yeah
can. He's hit the deck. He's the hit the deck bowler.
and but they haven't picked Mark Wood, and I think if I was England, I would just pick Mark Wood and Jofra because Jofra is fast, but he can't bowl all day. And this is
Mhm.
why I love Ishant is because you can rotate Bumrah after 3 or 4 overs, and Ishant can just bowl line and length every over. And England, I yeah, I would if I was the England selector, I'd have those two super quick bowlers, and have probably Broad just to be a workhorse because Jofra Archer he's good, but if India can survive 1 or 2 spells, he's going to get very tired. And
Yeah.
if he's coming in for his third spell and India are only 2 down, in an Indian track, Rohit Sharma is going to have a field day and Shubman Gill. I just want to quickly talk about the standby players, which is really cool. Abhimanyu Iswaran, he's quality.
Mm.
He's
Yeah.
he's a left-handed batsman. He's not an IPL player. This is what I love about Indian cricket right now is they've picked a first-class player
Yeah.
who has just scored hundreds and thousands of runs. Even Mayank Agarwal, when he came in, was the same. He scored 1,000 runs, so they
Mhm.
selected him. And Abhimanyu Iswaran, he got that amazing 100 for Bengal in a fourth innings, I think, chasing a big score, 380.
Mhm.
He's quality. Uh, Shabazz Nadeem, he debuted against South Africa. Was he the one who the left arm spinner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And obviously Rahul Chahar, he is an IPL player. Why do you think he's been selected? His statistics in Ranji are okay, but do you think it's just because he's young they want to just give him a taste?
Yeah, like that. I mean, I have seen him, but he's a bit tricky. I mean, he has some tricks in limited overs cricket, but that won't work in Test cricket. He have to very, I mean, compact and run saving, and needs to be very accurate. And I don't think he's that. I mean, just back up. Even if something happens worse than what we had in Australia, so he might have to ball.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's only 21. He still averages 28, which is okay for a leg spinner. I think maybe they've selected him because Ashwin's 34, Jadu's
Hmm.
32. I think maybe they obviously see something really good in him. If
I
they
think this is the series. This is the series now. We should think about the future. To be honest, I mean, Ashwin is not gonna play for long now, and Jadeja might play because he's fit and he has some tricks, but I think we should give chances to Kuldeep and Aksar and Washington. And if Washington can become a, a good spinner, I wouldn't say great like Ashwin. If he can be good spinner, he can be a vital as a package. I mean, will ball some overs and can bat like that.
Yeah.
And
I
he's very young. He's just 20.
I think with Washi, if I'm Washington Sundar, when next Ranji, I'm going to the coach of Tamil Nadu and saying like, I want to bat top six. I want to be batting number 5, number
Yes,
6.
yes,
I
yeah,
don't think he's ever going to get into the side as a frontline spinner. India just has too many.
yes,
But his
yeah,
technically his batting's good. He's tall. He can play the short ball. If I'm
yeah.
Washington, I'm saying to the coach at
And I was surprised. Why didn't he play those Ranji seasons? Because why he didn't wanted to, or he didn't get a chance. I mean,
to be honest, I
not
think it's
sure.
just because he's always in the squad. He's always in the
Yeah,
T20
T20s
squad,
one day.
one
Yeah,
day squad. So
IPL.
I honestly think that's the only reason. I don't think it's because he hasn't been selected. But if I'm him, I'm saying to the coach like, I want to bat number 5 or number 6, like because I think
Mm.
Hardik Pandya he's going to be special. He's back as well.
Hardik Pandya will pay. Where he will be paid? Because in the absence of Mayank and Vihari, still he doesn't get chance. I mean that's kind of competition we have in the squad. I mean where he will be playing? He
I
will be our third seamer in pink ball test. Do you think?
I'm thinking if they're going to select him in this first test, I'm thinking they go Hardik at 7, Akshar, Ashwin, Bumrah, Ishan. But then what are you going to drop Mohammad Siraj if you want to play 3 seamers? That's unfair. Mohammad Siraj was amazing, so that's why India
Yeah,
should
yeah.
have 2 test teams so we can see everyone play because yeah, like this Indian team's incredible. The combination, the batting, the top 5, we know who's going to play in that top 6. Um,
yeah,
Shubman Gill, he's special. He'll get his maiden 100 in the first 2 tests for sure. Uh,
yeah,
the top 6 we all know. I really hope they pick Rishabh Pant. I'm sure they're not going to pick Saha. I do like Saha as a wicket keeper, but I think now's the time. Rishabh Pant is 23. He's played 12 or 13 tests, maybe more. Just pick him and stick with him. And even if he might drop 1 or 2
yeah,
catches, if he drops 1 or 2 catches, let's be honest, in India, it's not going to cost us the game if he drops 1 or 2 catches. The only way that he's going to improve is just playing more. He just has to play more. And even towards the end of the Australia series, they were saying he lost 5 or 6 kilos. He started to look a lot better athletically. Like
Mhm.
he took a good catch. I think it was Tim Payne gloved it, and
Yeah, yes. Yeah, yeah.
if he stays fit, he's very good athletically. Um, they just have to back him, and if he drops a catch, who cares? It's in India. There's going to be more chances. I think they just
Just,
have to pick
I
him.
mean, just imagine that we are chasing a 400 total on Chennai, and Pant is on batting, and it's a small ground, and against English bowler, he can win us a match. That good. That how good he is. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's unbelievable. I don't want to draw comparisons, but Gilchrist, it was the exact same. As long as Gilchrist was at the crease, Australia was always a chance to win. And Pant is that good.
mhm,
He just needs to play himself in and just be patient and wait for his opportunity. But he's a match winner. You don't
yeah,
score that 100 in England in the 4th innings, the 97 in
yeah,
Sydney, the 89 in Brisbane. You don't play those innings unless you're a world superstar, and all of
you are
those
champion. Yeah,
were against
yeah.
foreign conditions
Top
against
class, top
world class
class. Yeah, top
attackers
class team attack.
yeah. So he's super special. The other players they've picked, it's good to see with the standby players they've picked. The net bowlers they've picked a lot of a couple of young players. They've picked Rajput, Avesh Khan,
Mhm.
Krishnappa Gautam, Sandeep Warrior. He's a net bowler. He's a class player. He's If it wasn't for COVID, Sandeep Warrior would have played in the Australia series with the injuries, but obviously they couldn't just fly him in. He would have
Mhm.
probably played that last test. He's a good player, and Krishnappa Gautam, he's he's handy. He's just a net bowler, but he's a handy spinner and can hit the ball long as well.
Do you know there is another bowler who played along with Pat Cummins, who plays for KKR. Fast bowler who continuously balls at 90 miles per hour. His name is, I'm thinking something. He's
Shivam.
heighted and don't know his name.
Oh, Prasid Krishna.
No, she's not Shivam Mavi. Yeah, yes, Prasid Krishna.
Yeah,
He looks dangerous. I mean,
yeah. He's
one
class.
thing is about that guy. One thing about that guy, he if he gets the consistency, just if he gets the consistency, na, he can be lethal in Australia and South Africa. He is that good. He has genuine pace. He has a bounce. The one thing he lacks about the very much in consistency, like he is kind of Saini. I mean, has everything, has a talent, has everything, but he lacks in consistency. But
Yeah,
I think BCCI should organize camps for these guys. I mean, especially BCCI should organize camps for these kind of guys who has a pace, who has everything, but lacks of consistency. They should. I mean, put a Zahir Khan on the vacation, put a Javagawal Srinath on the vacation and get them ready for the bowling in a test cricket. Get them consistent. Even they drop a 5 to 6 kilometer per hour, I wouldn't mind.
yeah. There's so many now. Ankit Rajput, Avish Khan, Shivam Mavi, Prasid Krishna, Kamlesh
Yeah,
Nagakoti.
yeah,
It's just an
yeah.
insane production line. I wish they just
If
had a
you,
tour game and they just had played four or five pace bowlers. But even Sandeep Warrior he's a
mm,
veteran of Ranji, and there's Ishan Parel. You could make three or four teams with the depth in Indian cricket. There's probably
yeah, yeah.
more
Uh,
superstar
the
pace
one thing,
bowlers coming through now than superstar spin bowlers. It's unbelievable what India's providing
yeah,
at the
yeah.
moment.
So, what would be your playing 11 for first test match? So, please tell me.
Uh,
For India, for India.
for what I would pick, your top six, obviously Sharma, Gill, Pujara. Kohli just sneaks back into the 11. Ajinkya Rahane, Rishabh Pant.
Oh, Kohli should be get dropped, right? Kohli should be dropped. I mean, this is.
uh,
Oh, Ajinkya Rahane won us Gavaskar series, so we should drop Kohli.
the top six is easy. After that, it's hard. I personally would pick Aksha, Aksha Patel, Ravi Ashwin. I would pick Siraj, Bumrah, and Ishan, and Siraj maybe or Kuldeep. There's so much good players.
Kuldeep should play. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, or unless they will just back Washington Sundar, which I'm not going to be upset if they play Washington Sundar again.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
I would just pick Akshar because he's a left armer. He's a he's a better bowler than Washington. And
Yeah.
to be honest, based on his experience, he probably deserves an opportunity more than Washington. Akshar's been
Mm.
playing first class cricket for half a decade now.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Are you pretty much the same except for Kuldeep for Siraj, or who are you picking?
So surprisingly, I will pick Kohli at 4 and Rahane will bat at 5. So that's a bit surprising for the viewers. So sorry guys, but and top 6 and the wicket keeper will be the Pant, of course. And
Yeah.
the 7th, I will go with the. I mean, I know that's a bit unfair with the Washington Sundar, but but I will select the Aksar, and the second and after Aksar it will be the Ashwin, of course, and first strike bowler of ours, and second one is Kuldeep. Of course, Kuldeep must play. Kuldeep, whatever the circumstances, whatever it takes, he should play at least 3 Test matches. To be honest, I mean he is a great bowler, and he hasn't got too many chances what Ashwin and Jadu got in their initial days. And then Seamers will be mine. Of course, Ishan Sharma and the King Bumrah, and that's my playing 11.
Yeah, the only
The five bowlers
thing
and
I can see
yeah,
is they pick Hardik at 7, and maybe go Ashwin, Kuldeep, and then the two seam bowlers, Bumrah and Ishan. But I think India can't go wrong with whoever they pick. It doesn't matter who they pick in this squad. It's so
hmm,
strong.
yeah,
I do hope if I do hope they back if they do play Akshar and he struggles or Kuldeep and he struggles. I hope they don't change the lineup. I know Shastri and Kohli like to always chop and change, but I hope they leave whoever they
hmm,
select, just back them. Especially Pant. Even if Pant drops 10 catches, just pick him the entire series. He has to play. Like, he's
yeah.
good.
And the one thing I'm a little bit confused about that here in India, when we ball first, now we leak runs with the new ball. To be honest, so I will be expecting that better performance than initial series that we have now. Bumrah, Bumrah will not leak runs, of course, and the nor will neither will Ishant. So the if he lost the toss and if our bowling first, we should be very tight as we did in Melbourne and what we did in Gaba. We
Yeah,
should be very tight, and I think Kohli should take help from I mean Rahane if he wants, and if he should continuously discussing with Rohit and Rahane, he would take help from both the guys, and we should be tactically very smart. And I mean, if a flat wicket, we should be waiting. Just build the pressure, and we should be waiting.
yeah,
Can't leak runs. We just can't leak runs. What
yeah,
we did in Rajkot, you might know. We did in Rajkot last time. We did in Mumbai last time against England. We did in Chennai. I mean, to be honest, Chennai was a bit flatter than the Mumbai and Rajkot, but still, we did give them some. I mean, to be honest, if Root get outs under 50, they don't deserve to score more than 350.
yeah. I think this English side, uh, even right now, only Joe Root is scoring runs.
Yeah.
Their top three has struggled. They haven't even selected Bairstow, who has scored the most out of their top three. Uh,
Mm.
I think if you can get rid of Joe Root early and Ben Stokes, they India should do well. So what's your out of the 4 matches? What's your prediction? Like, what do you think?
I mean, looking at the England doing well in Sri Lanka, yes, Sri Lanka is a. I mean, no. I mean, no offense to any of the Sri Lankan fans. I mean, we were in the bad. We also got out to the 360, 36 all out. No offense to anyone, but the Sri Lanka is a now it's struggling team, and I mean, even if the Joe Root in scoring 200s, it should be I think 3-0, at least 3-0. I would go with the 4-0, but 3-0 is the minimum. If you don't do it 3-0, that would be I mean like a loss to us. That kind of strong team we have now and in home conditions. And basically after winning that Gaba test, and I'm very much very
Yeah,
much optimistic about our performances that we should win 4-0. Yeah, of course.
yeah. I've from watching that Sri Lanka series. Angelo Matthews has still scored runs. Dinesh Chandamal has been able to score a little bit. Lahiru
Mm,
Tiramane
yeah,
and Niroshan Dickwella. So, especially Angelo Matthews is a world class player. So obviously the England side is good, but if you're a world class player, you can score runs against them. And Angelo Matthews is the best player Sri Lanka have produced this decade.
yeah,
Since
yeah.
since they had all those superstars. So there's definitely runs. My score prediction: India are good enough to win 4-0 easily. I just think England will. They can't. I don't think England will take 20 wickets at all, maybe in the day-night test. I don't think they're going to get 20 wickets unless India throw their wickets away. I do think though this English side can bat and they can bat long. I'd say it'd have to be 3-0. India are good enough to win 4-0, but I think maybe England can bat long enough for a draw. But I think 3-0 at least. Almost 4-0, but just 3-0. Not having Jadeja, he's obviously really good in India. But Kohli being back, and Kohli has a point to prove. He hasn't scored 100 in a long time, and he's going to get a couple of hundreds in this series, which leads me to my bold prediction. I think Kohli at least 2 centuries in this series. He has to. It'll be like 40 innings without 100 if he doesn't get one in this series.
Yeah.
So I think he'll get 2 in this series. I think he'll score at least probably 400 runs. But my bold prediction, I think James Anderson, he won't get 10 wickets for the whole series. He will not get 10 wickets for the entire series. So that's his class, and he is bowling well, but I think he'll get 9 wickets max. So that's honestly, I think Kohli just since that 2013 series, Kohli has made it his mission to. I think my other prediction. I think Joe Root will score. He'll have a good series. I think him and Kohli will be 400 plus runs in this series. Joe Root is world class and he's good against spin. I think Joe Root maybe will lead the whole series for run scoring, but Kohli 400 plus runs, Root 400.
I'm very much concerned about the Rahane.
And Anderson less than 10 wickets. What are your what's 3 predictions for you?
But my prediction is yes, as you said, Anderson is going to fail again in India, of course, to be honest. Shouldn't be any upset. I'm not very overconfident. But another thing is Kohli. Yes, Kohli definitely. Kohli will definitely will make most out of this series because he hasn't been scoring runs or he hasn't been scoring centuries. I would reckon. I mean, that would be best word. And I would looking forward to Rohit Sharma. I mean, he gets going on Indian flat wickets. Should be fit and should play all the 4 tests, and at least he should score 600 runs in this series. I mean, against the spinners, he's gonna bang. I mean, just bang.
So you're saying Rohit 600 plus runs?
Yeah, and Shubham Gill 200. I'm being very optimistic here that considering English side English side is a base because I'm very much threat about the Ben Stokes as a bowler. He can reverse the ball. He's the hit the deck bowler. He can produce some fiery wickets. He's a dangerous customer.
And he's just fit. He bowls long spells. He is the ultimate.
Yes.
Him and Kohli in terms of their fire is ridiculous. Ben Stokes can just bowl all day. He's in your face. Yeah. Kohli is the same, but with batting.
And if we set up well, Root has been very much average against the good pace attack. He has struggled Australia. He has struggled in New Zealand. If he set up well, Bumrah and Ishant Sharma set up him well. If they don't give them easy runs in his initial period, he's not going to score a single century again in India, to be honest.
So you think? I think he'll do well. That's where we're different. That's all right. No, it's good. It's good. We should have a different opinion. Then at the end of the series, one of us is going to be wrong.
Yeah.
So
yes.
For you, so Rohit 600 plus, Joe Root not 1 century, and you think?
He might score 2. Yeah. Yes.
All right, we have
4. If Rohit can't handle Anderson in new ball, so it might be issue for Rohit as well. But as he handled better bowling attack in Australia, and as he handled Philander and Rabada in his first series as an opener, so I hope that he will handle the Anderson because Anderson is all about new ball now. If he doesn't take his wickets in his initial spell of 7 to 8 overs, he's not going to take wicket. that's easy as it gets.
Yeah. I think he's definitely improved, but I just think this Indian side, I think they're going to make sure he struggles.
Yeah. If Pandya plays, I want that Bailey innings from Pandya, smashing Anderson for again 28 or 30 runs.
Yeah. I want to see Pandya play. I just can't see how they put him in the 11 without someone missing.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And now we are on, well, we're going to be on Facebook, hopefully Instagram, and YouTube as well. So, yeah, definitely like and subscribe or follow us however we can. We're going to try and be advertising as much as we can. And obviously, my goal for this is to get 1,000 views at some point. But yeah, hopefully, we can turn this into something really special. So, from myself and Rushi, till next time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And
Yeah. Bye bye.